2020 sucked for everybody. However, with gaming, it was pretty good. These are the top 10 best games of 2020. You'll kind of notice a little bit of a pattern with the top 10. It'll be 5 Nintendo, 5 PlayStation. Hope you guys enjoy. Number 10. I know already I'm going to get some hate. Just hear me out and the reasoning why this is even on my top 10 list. You know what? I love this compilation. I love Super Mario 3D All-Stars. I think the compilation of putting Super Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy all into one package is beautiful. It does suck that 64 didn't get the special treatment that was rumored at the beginning of the year, but it is still fun to play and get all the stars. I'm having a blast playing through all 3 games. Sunshine to me is probably the biggest surprise with how much care it actually got, because in the past I actually despised Sunshine, but now I really love the game. Galaxy will always be a masterpiece. I just wish they would have done a better idea with motion controls, especially in handheld mode, but I still find all 3 of these games really fun to play. This compilation would actually be higher on my list if Nintendo didn't decide to make the compilation only available to March 31st. If you can, buy it physically just as a collector's item, or down the road if you want to sell it for a profit. If not, and you want to play these 3 games, get it digitally. These games are amazing. Number 9. I don't know how many times I've said this before, but I'm going to keep on saying it. Pikmin is one of my favorite Nintendo franchises. Pikmin 3 Deluxe is amazing. I love the story. The characters are enjoyable. They are actually well written compared to Olimar and Louie. They are likable. The Pikmin, all of them are unique in their own ways. The game looks amazing. The story's really good. There's bonus content with Olimar and Louie. There's bingo battle. There's other types of things to do in this game. This $60 value, in my opinion, is worth the price. I love Pikmin 3 Deluxe. I love Pikmin. I just want them to make Pikmin 4. Don't ever make Hey Pikmin ever again. Just focus on Pikmin 4. When will that time be? I don't know. Until then, I am happily enjoying Pikmin 3 Deluxe that I have made a playthrough series here on this channel that I hope if you are watching this video and you haven't watched it, you would take the time to watch it. Number 8. Speaking of another game that ends March 31st, Super Mario Bros. 35 is a Battle Royale take on the original Super Mario Bros. Game. I know that might sound stupid, but it's actually really thought out. It's really fun. It's taking the Super Mario Bros. Game that you may or may not know and love and taking it up to a multiplayer-like game, going up against 34 other real-life players. So if you know Super Mario Brothers, you most likely will have an advantage. But if you're just used to just being it, kind of not in a quick way, not focusing on getting coins and taking out enemies, you're going to have a hard time. Heck, I've gotten a couple of victories. It's a really satisfying game. I think everybody should try it. It is free if you have Nintendo Switch Online. However, it sucks that it ends March 31st. Number 7. I always love a good first-party Sony game. A first-party Sony game always has a high budget and a great compelling story. The story of Ghost of Tsushima, honestly, one of the great PlayStation 4 games. You follow the journey of Jin, who is the ghost of Tsushima, driving back the Mongols from his homeland. There are so many things to do in this game. The story is really enticing. I don't really want to give anything away. If you are getting either a PS4 or PS5, you should definitely get Ghost of Tsushima. There's plenty of content to do. The maps and the areas and all the different types of side quests and side activities that can help Jin, your character, become more powerful with the way of the samurai or even the way with the ghost are all fun and unique. The story, like I said before, is really enticing and really just a beautiful type of story that I think everybody should encounter and play. This game is just a beautiful game, either on PS4 or PS5, and heck, they even have a brand new multiplayer raid mode for this game. That is amazing. Oh, by the way, that's also free as well. one of the best ways to end the PS4 generation. Number 6. I never thought I would ever see the day that we get not a sequel, but another game in the Hyrule Warriors type of Musou games. This game is really unique. I would say one of the most, or if not the most unique game on this top 10 list, is because you as a player get to live out the events of the Great War that leads up to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Look, I'm someone who didn't really like Breath of the Wild as much as other people did, and I love this game. It's probably because it's more of a Musou game and not a action-adventure / puzzle type of game, but I love how the champions and Link interact with each other. I love how the divine beasts are controlled. I love the layout of the land before Breath of the Wild. Everything, or almost everything, before Breath of the Wild is in this game. You get to see all these characters, all of them are young. You get to see Impa as a ninja. That is amazing. I also think that the story has a lot of touching moments that I don't really want to spoil. All I will say is this. I do have a playthrough series of this game on my channel. I would hope that you can consider checking it out and watching a few, if not the whole playthrough series. This game is a great game to play on the Switch, both in handheld mode and on the big screen. Number 5. Usually I don't put tech demos on my Game of the Year lists. However, Astrobot Playroom is not really a tech demo for the system itself, but more of the controller, the DualSense. Astrobot Playroom is a 3D platforming game where you take Astrobot, the adorable little robot that I personally think is PlayStation's new mascot, and you take him through different components of the PS5. This game is purely nostalgic. If you are like me and you grew up with the PS1 all the way up to the PS5, you are going to just have a pure nostalgia joy playing this game. And also, this game uses the DualSense to its best capabilities currently right now on the system. This game is truly amazing. It's fun. It's really fun to see callbacks to old PlayStation franchises that started off on PlayStation, and even old PlayStation consoles. If you own a PS5, of course, this should be the first game that you play. Number 4. When I first completed Final Fantasy VII, the original on the PS4, the PC port of course, I was really mesmerized by the game. And then when they announced that they are remaking the game, I honestly thought to myself, why? How can you make it any better than what it was? Square Enix has answered that question with Final Fantasy VII Remake. This game looks amazing, the voice acting is superb, the music is just phenomenal. The battle system honestly was something that I was the most afraid of. They did perfectly. I was also against the idea that, oh, you're going to divide it out into different sections. Sometimes we're going to have to buy the game, just different parts of it for $60 over again and again. How many parts there are going to be? And now, honestly, after playing the first part that took place through all of Midgard, I trust Square Enix. I am 100% for what they are doing. I just don't want to wait that long for the next part because this part was amazing, especially the ending, which I don't want to spoil. If you haven't played Final Fantasy VII Remake, or even if you're new to the series, you should try Final Fantasy VII Remake. You don't need to play any other Final Fantasy type of game to understand what is going on in the story. Number 3, Persona 5 Royal adds some brand new characters, fixes up some old scenes that were controversial, and adds in some brand new different types of activities, and I love this game. I loved Persona 5, it was my game of the year when it came out. Persona 5 Royal misses the mark a little bit since there were other games that were a bit better in my opinion. However, Persona 5 Royal is still an amazing type of game. This is the version that I recommend that you should go out and play. If you have a PS5 with PlayStation Plus and you haven't played the original Persona 5, jump on that since it's free. However, if you want to play a more definitive edition of Persona 5, Persona 5 Royal is that version. with brand new characters that you would want to get to know, and that you also want to build a great bond with them to get to the special content. It is still an amazing type of game, and I cannot wait for Persona 5 Strikers and eventually down the road, Persona 6. Number 2, this might come as a surprise to some, but no, Animal Crossing New Horizons is not my game of the year. I love Animal Crossing New Horizons. It is the best in the franchise. Different type of events, the updates keep on rolling, the holidays keep on rolling. Animal Crossing New Horizons came out at the most perfect time before the whole world got into a pandemic. This game was, and still is, a very popular Switch game. This game has plenty of years on it. I love designing my own island. I love talking and interacting with my villagers. I love how I'm pretty much in control of my island. I love going out to visit friends' islands. I love doing all that other type of stuff. I just got kind of bored with it for a little bit and jumped off of it, but I do plan on coming back and actually making more content with it. Animal Crossing New Horizons is just phenomenal. I still believe that it is going to be a popular game down the road until the developers stop updating it. But man, that would be 2 to 3 years. I love this game. This game as a culture, as a video game culture, is what, in my opinion, 2020 was all about. Number 1. When I first saw the Pathless, it was in a PlayStation type of direct. It spoke to me. It's one of those games where I just look at and I'm thinking, wow, like what is this game? The Pathless is all about freeing corrupted souls. In my opinion, it is played best on the PS5 because of the DualSense controller. You use the bow and arrow to move and to gain momentum and to take out targets. With the DualSense controller, holding down the L2 button and firing at different targets, it feels really satisfying. It reminds me of Kratos in God of War, the 2018 version, when he throws his axe and he calls for it back and he just catches it in his hand and makes that satisfying noise, and it's just satisfying hitting enemies along the way. That's how the Pathless controls feel like to me. The Pathless is a beautiful game, an open world type of sandbox type of game with different sectors for you to solve puzzles and take out the corrupted spirits. This game made me like puzzle games. That in its own way is why the Pathless is my game of the year. I love this game. This game has spoken to me like no other game has in 2020. And if they do decide to make a sequel, I would be playing it day one. I love this game, and if you have not played it either on PS5, and I believe it's on Stadia or the Epic Store, you should definitely try it out. And those were the best games of 2020. Let me know what your guys' best games of 2020 were. Hopefully, going into next year, we will have a better year than 2020. However, I also want to remind people that this pandemic is still going on even into 2021. I guess the last message that I have is that let's be good to each other. I feel like 2020 was a terrible year for all of us, and that each of us are wanting 2021 to be a better year and to be more positive. That's why I'm hoping 2021 we can all be good to each other, and we can all come together and realize that this pandemic was terrible and 2020 was probably one of the worst years of all of our lives. So with that being said, I'll see you guys on the next video. Have a good one. Happy New Year. And please stay tuned for a brand new New Year type of video, which goes through all of the different types of content changes that are coming to this channel and what to expect in 2021 for this channel. Until then, see you guys later.